I've told Tim Allen when he's setting up the schedule, I hate going last because my mascara is totally shot at this point in the evening from all the crying. Wilson Lee, whom I have the pleasure of introducing tonight, was born and raised in the Ingleside district of California. His parents are immigrants from China who had little formal education themselves, but very high expectations for their oldest son. He told me a story that we've heard versions of before about cultural misunderstanding and conflict, parents who didn't understand the American concept of the sleepover party, for example. He says that until Mr. Wilcox came into his life, along with some other exceptional teachers, he was a fairly rebellious and indifferent student. But then he had some great teachers, and he's going to tell you more about Eric Wilcox in particular. He got into a number of really excellent schools. He ended up going to UCLA, and he had mentioned to me earlier in our conversation when we talked tonight that he had a free ride at UCLA. So when we were talking about the schools he got into, and I said, so you chose UCLA because of the financial aid package. He told me he had no idea he had a scholarship until his junior year. He just kept taking out student loans and then realizing he had a lot more money than he thought he was going to have by the end of every year. So while his parents may have been unfamiliar with the American educational system, I imagine they were very pleased when they found out that college wasn't going to cost them anything. He had originally planned to be a lawyer, but he became a sports fanatic while he was at UCLA. He told me he likes sports because sports make people happy. I understand they've been making people particularly happy in San Francisco this week. And he spent the last 2 months, he has just begun a job in the sports industry that he tells me he absolutely loves. He's going to tell you more about his teacher, Eric Wilcox. Thanks.
First off, thank you for that introduction. Really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you for everyone for being here and making all of this possible. So one of the things I want to talk about with Mr. Wilcox, not only special to me, but I can say for a lot of the other students he taught us, the books, and he was an English teacher, and he taught us all that. But he taught us a lot of other things too, like how to carry ourselves and how to treat other people. And one of the ways he did this was in his class, he wasn't really an authority figure. He's very laid back. The last time I saw him, hair was longer and he looked a lot more casual. So in our class, he would break us up into groups, let us sit anywhere we want for the whole class, and then he would bring it back. And what he would do is he would let us discuss our opinions and what we thought about what we've been studying, and then he would be like, okay, cool, tell me more. So he really made us feel like our opinions mattered, and a lot of the kids didn't believe in themselves, had something to believe in when we stepped inside of his classroom. He was very supportive outside of the classroom. We would always throw stuff in his face, buy the shirt for our wrestling team, our cross-country team, volleyball team. He always bought everything. He came to all of our games. So he's very supportive. And personally myself, I work in the sports industry now, which probably has nothing to do with English class, but I feel like it has everything to do with English class because before this, I was doing a bunch of other stuff, tried to become a sports writer, and I have him to thank for that, for honing my writing skills, because he used to give me back papers full of red ink, and I was like, really? Please? Come on. But he's great. He really deserves this. I wish more of us could be here to thank him, because I know a lot of us feel the same way. I carry myself the way I do today because he taught us that, no matter how much older you are, if you're an authority figure, non-authority figure, you got to treat everyone the same way with respect. And without further ado, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, that's where that sound came from. Boy, it's tough to go last. such an honor to be joining this highly dignified group of educators that's associated with Carlston Family Foundation. I want to thank Tim and Jose and the Carlston family, my family, for putting up with all the weekends of spending time grading papers and stuff. I'm sorry, kids. I'll spend some more time with you really soon as I get the rest of this done upstairs. Wilson, it's a pleasure to have Eric here as well. Class of 2010 was an extra special class for me, and I'm just so honored to be here. I love teaching literature, and for me, it's a way of dealing with ethical contradictions and dilemmas, and it's a magical thing that I love to do. And so this is just an unbelievable honor on top of everything else. You never expect this kind of thing, and it's just I'm just so thankful right now, and it's the kind of thing that really caps a career and makes you really it all come home. So I'm proud to join this group of educators who I got to be in the symposium with today, and I'm so honored to be here, and I'm so happy to see you guys. And have a great night, everybody. I'm out of here. Is this my check?